Hi, kinesiology majors. Thank you for signing up for a semester completer advising session. I am Dr. Nicole Dabbs, part of the kinesiology advising team. We want you to watch this video that will highlight the changes coming up with the quarter to semester conversion and how to build those changes into your plan for the last year of the quarter system. This video is specific for physical education and adapted physical education concentration, formerly known as pedagogy. If you are a different concentration, please watch the video for your concentration. The goal for you before you come to our advising session is to understand the curriculum changes that are happening and how that will affect your roadmap for the last year in quarters. I will update you on what our curriculum changes are in the major and how to decide what to make sure you take or don't take as we transition into semesters. I will then walk you through the steps on how to read your PAWS report and how to create a MyCap. The main goal for you is to create a MyCap for the last year in quarters and have that ready before you come to the advising session with the faculty. This will allow the faculty advisors to review it, make any changes, and answer any questions you may have regarding our new curriculum. If you have questions along the way during this video, be sure to write them down so we can address them during the advising session. You have been identified as a semester completer, which means you will have graduate sometime after summer 2020. There are a few things you need to consider during this transition. One is which bulletin you will use for your plan towards graduation. This decision will affect how you will be advised, and if you are unsure, pick one and plan for it, and we can discuss more when you come to the advising session. In general, if you choose to stay on the quarter bulletin, you will be required to complete the courses that are in our current curriculum. And if you choose to move to the semester bulletin, you will be required to complete the courses that are in our new curriculum. Please note that if you officially move to the semester bulletin, you cannot go back to the quarter bulletin. To guide you on choosing which bulletin to plan under, here are some general guidelines. However, it is on an individual basis, depending on which classes you have or haven't taken yet. Choose the path that you think is best for you. We can help adjust if needed when you come to the advising session. So as you can see here, if you're a freshman in fall of 2019, you should move to the semester bulletin. We suggest you mostly taking GE classes if you're a freshman in fall 19 and take at least one kinesiology activity class, Kines 205, Kines 210, and Kines 310. If you're a sophomore starting fall 2019, the bulletin will be based on classes you have already taken. But we do suggest you take GE classes, kind of finish up your GE, and some of the core kinesiology classes. If you're a junior in fall of 2019, we encourage you to stay on the core bulletin. This will probably be the best outcome for your graduation retention. We suggest that you complete the core and start concentration coursework. If you're a senior in fall of 2019, you're going to stay in the quarter bulletin. This is assuming that you probably have only 1 or 2 semesters that you're going to complete in the semester system. Again, here is a reminder of what to do. If you want to stay on the quarter bulletin, use the current requirements, but take the semester equivalent courses when you get to semesters. If you're going to switch to the semester bulletin, use the new requirements, and classes already taken will count for the courses that are equivalent. Again, if you switch bulletins, you cannot go back. For general education, courses, for the most part, will transfer over and you will be fine. However, there are a few things we want you to keep in mind. If you're a junior status above 90 units, we suggest that you take your writing intensive course, one of the courses in the 306 category. This will only be if you are junior status or above. We suggest typically taking the natural science 306 class. If you're not a junior status, which means you're below 90 units, do not take Kines 370, which is our current statistics class in kinesiology. Take Kines 3700 in semesters. In the semester system, Kinesiology 3700 is counting as the upper division writing intensive designation in semesters. If you haven't taken Biology 100 by fall 2019, do not bother taking it. It will not be required as a prereq for anatomy and physiology. But we do suggest you start taking the bio series for anatomy and phys in fall 2020. So the first course you would take would be Biology 2300 in fall 2020, followed by Biology 2400 in spring 2020. If you completed Biology 100 by fall 2019, take Biology 223 and 224 by spring of 2020. You want to make sure you get that full sequence in before we go into semesters. Also, we want you to be aware that taking GE Category B4 is not necessary. So if you haven't taken that yet, regardless of the bulletin that you're on, don't take it at all. Additionally, take 4 units only from GE1 and GE3. GE1 and E3, which is Kinesiology 205 and an activity class. Don't take GE Category E2. That one will no longer be required in the semester system, regardless of the bulletin that you choose. Here's a quick look at what the new GE curriculum is going to look like. It will look very similar. However, there will be a couple classes that, or a couple sections that will be a little bit different. One big one is going to be Category E, which is a lifelong understanding. This is only going to be 1 3-unit course versus the 3 subsections that it was in the past. Some of the bolded ones that you can see here may be some that we suggest to take in those categories. For instance, Math 1301 is going to be the algebra class. So we want to point out a couple key things that are going to change in our curriculum and some pointers and tips of what to take and not to take. So the core curriculum in kinesiology is the courses that every single kinesiology student has to take. If you're saying on the quarter bulletin, we suggest that you're going to take Kines 210 and 310 before the semesters hit, or wait to take neither of them. Kines 210 and 310 in the semesters will be combined to one class, and we want to make sure that you only take what you need and what's necessary. So if you've already taken Kines 210, make sure you get Kines 310 before semesters, or vice versa. If you haven't taken either, you can wait, but we suggest getting both done this year. If you're a freshman in the fall of 2019, don't take Kines 323 or Kines 324. These 2 classes will also be combined into one course, which you should just wait to take in the semester system. On the screen, you can see we have a couple things highlighted. The big things that we want you to complete, if possible, the Anatomy and Phys series, Bio 223 and 224. Additionally, we want you to pay attention to any courses that have prereqs. So there's a prereq column. That column will show you what classes you need to get into the other classes. So for instance, Kines 480, which is biomechanics, you need anatomy and physiology. In addition, you need the math requirement. So you need at least college algebra. In the bolded red box, you'll see the semester equivalent courses. So once you start to see semester course numbers, these are going to be in this red box. So we'll show you the equivalent of those classes. So those will be the course numbers in the semester system. If you're planning to move to the semester bulletin, the same do's and don'ts apply here. Again, take 210 and 310, or don't take either at all. Freshman of fall of 2019, don't take Kines 323 or Kines 324. Wait to take the combo class, which is 3400 in the semester system. All these advising sheets will also be up on our website in the near future for you to. If you are a pedagogy concentration and planning on staying on the quarter bulletin, the key things to be sure to do are to take Kines 323 and Kines 324 or don't take either of them. These two classes will be combined into one class in the semester system. So if you've already taken one of them, take the other in the quarter system. If you haven't taken either, you can wait until you get into semesters. For your pro-prep classes, there will be some changes to those. The biggest change is with your team sports. Currently, you need to take 4 classes from the list of team sports. We suggest that you complete all 4 of those classes before you get into the semester system, or don't take any of them. So make sure you take 4 of the Kines 263A through E, or hold off from taking any of them and wait until semester system. There'll be one large class for all of those. For individual sports and combat sports, you only need to take 1 course from each of those, so you can either take that in the quarter or the semester system. It won't really matter. They'll convert over. If you are a senior, we suggest that you take Kines 490 and Kines 334. If you're not a senior, do not take that. So take those classes in the quarter system before we go to semesters. You can see in our advising sheet here, the key things that we want to point out are the days and times that courses are offered, specifically with the pro prep courses this next year. These are the days and times that they'll at least be offered once. Sometimes they'll be offered again. These are really critical because if you don't get these days and times set up in your schedule correctly, it will prolong your graduation. We also want to point out in the bolded red box, this is a semester equivalent courses to the quarter courses, so you can kind of see what the difference is going to be and where courses are going to go. Specifically, those team sports here, we can see that all of these 263A through E, you either take 4 courses now or 8 units. In the semester system, it all is 1 course, so you just would have to take Kines 2640 instead of taking the 4 courses. In the semesters, the pedagogy concentration is changing its name to Physical Education, Adapted Physical Education. So it will now be referred to as PE-APE. So keep that in mind as we're talking about both PE and APE and pedagogy. They mean the same thing, but we are transitioning over to the new title. If you're moving to the semester bulletin for PE-APE, the key things to be sure to do are to take Kines 323 and Kines 324, or don't take either, similar as stated previously. For the team sports, if you haven't started any of those, we would suggest just holding off, not taking any of the Kines 263A through E, waiting to take the new course in the semester system. For individual sports, we suggest not to take either of those in the current quarter system and wait to take the Kines 2630 in the semester system. Same with combat fitness, we suggest not taking those in the quarter system and waiting to take 2620 in the semesters. Reference. Many of you have already seen a PAWS report, have looked up your own PAWS report. Basically, this is a degree audit of what is required for you for graduation. It shows you what you've taken, what you need to take, what's transferred in, and the grades that you've received. To access your PAWS report, you're going to log into My Coyote and run the PAWS report for your declared major. Feel free to pause this video and go ahead and log in if you want to follow along as we go. I'm also going to pull up this live so you can see how it works as I'm doing it. So you're going to go ahead and log in. It's going to look a tiny bit different because I'm on the faculty end, but you're going to run your declared major. So this student is an allied health profession, so you're going to see AHP here. If you're in exercise science, it's going to show that here as well, or pedagogy. You're going to want to run your declared concentration, and it's going to show up, and you can view your audit. So you've all, again, have seen this before. This is going to show you things that you've completed or haven't completed, just to give you a quick snapshot of what you're doing. or what you have done. As you can see below, you have green check marks for places that you've completed those courses and red X's where you haven't completed that category. And then it gets into the specific of the subcategories. So this is what is going to be really important to follow as you get closer to graduation. The key thing here is the MyCap that we're going to create is going to be pulling from your PAWS report. So what I want you to do next is go to this tab here where it says MyCap and click on that tab. You're then going to create a new MyCap plan. So here you can type in Kines Advising and today's date. You're going to probably start with winter quarter since you've already registered for fall, and it's going to be starting with 2020. And you probably have 1 or 2 years to graduation. Once you've completed this, go ahead and push Add My MyCap. So again, your MyCap is going to show you on the left-hand side your PAWS report. So I suggest using the tab here where it says Expand All. This will open up each section of your PAWS report. And then also expanding all on the right-hand side, which is where you're going to plan your courses that are coming up. So what I want you all to do is, based on what we've talked about already with our curriculum, you're going to go back and figure out what courses you want to take which quarter. So again, we want to plan at least until summer of 2020, if not beyond. The only courses that are going to be in here are going to be the quarter courses as of now. Eventually, semester courses will be in here. So anywhere that you see a red X, we want to start to take some of those classes. So if you're missing a category, so for here, natural sciences, the student's missing category B4, but we stated that we don't need that category, so we want to leave that with a red X. We don't want to plan for that course. Next one is B5, so we may want to take one of these natural science courses. So the way that MyCap works is that you'll select this course, and then you can drag and drop it over into the quarter that you want to take it. If you decide you want to plan for a different quarter, you can always switch it and drag it to a different quarter. Once you've completed adding a few courses into your plan, like so, you can then select this check mark above on the right-hand side. This check mark will not only save your MyCap, but it will also cross-reference the PAWS report. So now the courses that had a red X before will now have a purple calendar saying that it's planned. So this allows you to show that you've planned those courses and you don't need to put them in your schedule. So again, you can continue going down and looking at all the courses. If you're curious of what a course is because you don't know what History 146 is, you can click on that course. It will give you a small course description. So this will allow you to view that course, see what it's about, and add it if you want. Also, over on the right-hand side, you can delete quarters, you can add classes by hand. If some of you are going to dual concentrate in both exercise science and allied health, you can only plan your MyCap for one. That will cross-reference your PAWS report. However, you can enter in courses by hand. So you can add a course here and say you want to add in biology, an extra biology class. And maybe we do microbiome. You can add that in if you wanted. Okay, some other things to keep in mind, just as you're looking at total units of graduation, currently it's required that you graduate with 180 units. In the semester system, it will be 120. We're not going to necessarily plan for until graduation, so we don't need you to have everything checked off here, but you're welcome to do so if you want. Keep in mind, obviously, when we go to the semesters, we'll have 2 semesters, a fall and a spring. So if you go to winter 2021, you want to kind of delete that quarter because it's no longer going to exist. On this system, it will also add your unit value here and tell you that it's planned. So it's pretty user-friendly. You'll be able to kind of figure that out on your own. So we're going to go back to our slides. So our main point for today is to prepare you to come to our advising session so you can build your roadmap ahead of time and that we can check it. So we want you to build your roadmap based on the requirements that we've talked to you about. Decide if you're going to be a quarter bulletin completer or a semester bulletin completer. Use advising tips sheet that we have on our website and on this video, and also save your roadmap, which you'll do when you use that check mark in the system, and that will allow us to see it when you come to our advising session. Once you come to our advising session, we can answer any questions, we'll review that roadmap, we'll make any adjustments, and we can talk about any questions or concerns you may have. After coming to our advising session and getting it cleared by a faculty advisor, your hold will then be released for winter registration. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. My email is ndabs@csusb.edu. You can also feel free to contact Dr. Reimel and Dr. Escalante. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at the advising session.